good, bro. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Welcome to Chillin with Villains podcast.
Oh shit! Episode
Where
24.
24 Kobe. Let's
Kobe
go.
Bean. Yo, so like we did for last episode, I think this one should be the history of Kobe Bean Bryant and everything he's accomplished in the NBA. So that's what this podcast is going to be about.
No, I'm letting him go with this one.
I was waiting for both of you to
Nah, the last one you really had us going though. The last one, yo, like I'm like, wait, was he onto something here? Like,
is he gonna compare Michael Jordan to toxicity? I don't know what's going on.
Like he's being dead ass right now. Like what's going on?
Nah, but welcome was good, y'all. Ozymandias is here.
Kobe Bryant was born.
Stop.
Ozymandias is here with Clown Prince and all the way.
Oh yeah, what town am I from now?
And all the way calling in live. This is a live line. All the way from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Hey,
the Russ song.
Zoom.
Cherry Hill.
Who is gonna be our
DC correspondent?
Our official DC correspondent.
No, I mean, as much as I wish that was the case, it's not.
You're the DC correspondent. So
You are the DC correspondent.
So Zoom, could you update us on the? By the way, guys, this is gonna be our Watchmen episode 1. Even though we saw it 2 weeks ago, we're gonna tell y'all about it again.
Hold on. Yeah, nah. Ariel, if we gonna flex, we gotta flex all the way. We got a special screening at New York Comic Con of episode 1. So we been watched it.
Along with 1,000
dropping a bomb on that one.
But because we are honest human beings, and the lady told us, please no spoilers, please no reviews until after it drops for everybody, we stay true to our word.
That's right.
And we didn't do that. So that's why we're here now.
Exactly. So we're here to tell y'all that if you are in well, I guess this is a spoiler alert, right?
Yeah, spoiler warning.
So spoiler warning. If you are in any way, shape, or form offended by fictional television, personally feel attacked for an episode existing, man, I hope you have a pet or something. Go hug it.
Hug it.
Why we hugging pets and not moms anymore?
Well, no, I mean, I don't want to get so dark.
Clearly, their mom has failed.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, yo, chill.
At the Mama Dukes.
Yo, chill.
I'm trash.
Yo.
Nah, but all right, for real though. We saw this episode at a special screening, so real quick flex. Yeah, we thought it was awesome. We thought that it was refreshing to see a take like this. And Regina King.
that is all.
But yeah, Zoom, please highlight something that even though rather it be such a great episode, something that tried to overshadow it, at least to me.
I guess people didn't like that it was not super accurate to the comics or to the graphic novel or to the movie, I guess. They definitely didn't like they thought it was very social justice warrior-y, which I didn't really agree with, but I mean, is what it is.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
To that point, it's kind of idiotic. It's not sticking true to the graphic novel. What do you mean? There was only one graphic novel, and they did a movie about it. What more? Can they have to expand on the universe now. They have to come up with new ideas. And it's just what do they want? They want another season of something that they've already either read or watched.
Yeah,
that's my question when it comes to these guys. It's what do you prefer, comic accuracy or the unpredictability of TV? You can have Like, what's the point of watching it if you're like, oh yeah, this person's gonna go do this and that, and this is gonna happen, and then all of that happens, and then that's the end of the season. What did you even watch it for?
Right.
Just like it, I don't know. It's just different. It's like totally. It just seems so weird to me. But then, and then if that happens, I feel like also people would be like, yo, they're not taking any risks, like this, that, and the
It's a
third.
safe
Like
show.
it's a safe show. It just does whatever. You're not gonna like fucking knock anybody's socks off if you just do the same old shit. So I was totally okay with the approach they took. If you feel attacked by this stuff, I mean, because I know it apparently reading some of these reviews,
We're gonna get into that later.
the user reviews. We're gonna get into that later, but you know, as a minority, I can't get into like how it would feel if I was white and watching the show. But if you're not racist, I feel like why would you feel attacked?
Exactly.
That's my thing.
If you are not labeled, a white supremacist, you should not feel attacked.
Literally,
Like, what
it's
the
talking
fuck?
about the most extreme racism. It's like, yeah, white supremacy. That's terrible. That's not good.
Bro, one
Like,
of the main characters in the first episode, Don Johnson, he was the freaking he was the police the sheriff, right? He was
The chief. The
the
yeah,
chief, exactly. Like, what are you talking about? And him and Regina King's character, Angela Barr, hashtag Sister Knight, dope ass character, by the way.
dope as,
They
but
were
they have a dope ass relationship. Like interaction,
exactly.
their chemistry was great.
It's real world shit. They're just showing you, look, a white human being and a black human being can be friends. And then we also have an extreme spectrum of white supremacists who are very, very extreme. But then, obviously, we already said it's spoiler warning, but we also have an extreme, we also do have minority groups that are very, very extreme. And they kind of showed that with the young gentleman who was a kid. And we saw at the end of the episode, he turned out to be that old man
Yeah.
that, again, spoiler warning, killed the police chief. So
Well,
it's like, like it's, well, at least, yeah, we think like
yeah, we
that's what
don't
happened.
know. Man, it's fucking like 90 years old. But I guess he did kind of allude to it, thinking about it. Because when he said, "Hey, do you think I could lift like 200 pounds?"
Right.
and that guy's probably around that weight.
Yeah. Don Johnson's character is Jude Crawford. That's his name.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's like, and to be fair as well, like it's only been one episode,
Oh
and
yeah,
people
100%.
and people are already like, oh, we already know like what the left. This is all like left.
Leftist,
Yeah. And it's like, what are you
leftist
talking about?
propaganda type shit. It's like, no, it's not. It's like, it's just,
Like,
yeah, it's
I
a typical
guarantee you,
leftist race baiting. It's not race baiting. It's
it's real world
it's
shit.
yeah, like
A bit more extreme, obviously, because we're still talking about a comic book universe, but like this, this shit exists. White supremacy
yeah,
exists. Uh,
yeah,
blacks who genuinely hate white people because of the enduring slavery that has happened in the past. Those people exist as well.
hmm
And like I feel like us as a group, like we're like down the middle, where we're not white supremacists and we're also not a terrorist minority group, so I feel like that's good on our part.
that's
And
like normal.
like being a genuine human being.
Yeah, but like it just sucks that even when a show tries, especially like with material as pretty grounded, to me at least, as pretty
Yeah,
grounded
Uh-huh.
and rich and deep as Watchmen, people still
Right.
find a reason. Like, there's so many layers to this, and maybe the show isn't trying. Like, sure, the show isn't trying to be surface or anything. Clearly not with just the first episode. But it's like, yo, they recreated a historical event that not many people know about.
Yeah,
Right.
the Tulsa, Oklahoma riots. Yeah.
Yeah, like the massacre there that happened and stuff, and it's just like, fam, I didn't know about that. The show
I
put
had
me on. The
I
show
had
put
no
me
idea.
on.
I had no idea
You know
about
what I'm
that.
saying? Like, and then like, I don't care that this isn't ripped
What
from the
year was
com.
that? 1921.
No,
Yeah.
that was in the.
Yeah.
Really, it was in the 20s.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. I looked it up. I don't remember what year they said in the show, but I know it took place in real life in 1921.
Oh, okay, but
Yeah.
But it
Yeah,
was either
I think
1921 or 1951.
you know,
not
like
21.
still, this material manages to fit a historical event in America in with
Yeah.
a freaking graphic novel plotline
Right.
that's
Yeah.
over 30 years old.
And you know, because I understand like how people can get the idea like, oh, like this isn't relating anything to anything
Anything.
anything
Anything.
anything to Watchmen, but I'm like again, it was the first episode, like, and we
Give it
got
some time.
and
And
we
there's a lot
also
of
did
Easter eggs anyway.
exactly like we got and obviously they didn't mention who Jeremy Irons' character is, but I'm pretty sure we all know who he is.
On,
Yeah.
it's so weird though. Like on IMDb, it's saying who's it saying is. Uh,
Adrian, like,
Adrian. Yeah,
No,
some. Yeah,
Adrian Veidt
Adrian
is Ozymandias' real
Veidt.
name.
oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, so then there you go.
yeah.
So then there you go. Like, there's that, and then we saw Dr. Manhattan.
Do me a favor, please.
Yeah.
Go to commercial.
So yeah, go ahead, Zoom. We back.
I forgot
Hi.
what we were talking about.
No. No, like, well, I don't want to say it now because I feel like since you don't watch trailers.
No, it's
I don't want to
dude,
ruin
whatever. Like if you have to.
All right, cool. Everybody dies now. Doctor Manhattan. I think him. You know, they're hinting a lot that he's gonna like make an appearance, like through clips and shit. Like you only see like a blue hand, but you know, I don't know anybody else who has a blue hand. So I figured it's got to be him.
It's just a random ass character that they bring
Yeah.
into the show.
Yeah, they call him Blue Hand. That's the only part of his body that's blue. He just paints
that's
his
what
hand
he's credited as.
Yeah,
Blue
Blue
hand.
Hand.
Nah, but
No, yeah, it's I love it. I think this show's gonna be really great.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
now from like not even a production perspective or cinematography, acting, like just the vision for this. Do you think that this is a limited series? Do you think that they could just like hit the ground running and just go like this could be like their next, not Game of Thrones per se, but like the next huge hit like Westworld was and stuff? Like, do you think
It's
that it
fu-
has the potential for it?
it's funny you say that because as you stepped out, me and him were literally discussing this because he didn't know, like Zoom didn't really know that Dr. Manhattan was going to be like a part in it. Like we still don't really know like how
Yeah,
big
yeah.
of an impact he's really going to have. But the fact that they're teasing him, obviously they're going to utilize him at some point.
Yeah.
But what we're thinking is what we were just discussing is that since after this episode they already kind of established what we're going to see for the upcoming season,
Mm-hmm.
that he will be a big tease this season, and they're going to prepare him for season 2, you know. And so referring back to your question, yeah, because Dr. Manhattan, dude, like just like we saw in the movie, or for those that read the graphic novel, like he can literally do anything he wants in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
So if they are going to incorporate Dr. Manhattan, it has to be in a situation where, you know, he's not really running the show and he doesn't really have a say in what he's going to do next, you know? Like, but this is in the future, right? Like like how many years?
30 years after the comic book, to be exact.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see, man. I think it, especially, you know, like I said before we even started the show, it has the biggest ratings for a pilot after 2 years, which was Westworld had a big.
Big
Let me look
opening
at the
night.
numbers right now. Yeah, let me look at the numbers right now, so you two can discuss whatever you want while I look this up.
All right, so yeah, look that up, and I think that this show has that potential,
for sure.
and like because on top of that, like
Actually, I don't
Lindelof's.
know. I don't know if it can go as far as like season wise as Game of Thrones can did.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had to give it a max, I mean, again, this is just me totally guessing because I've only seen one episode. Uh,
Flex.
Probably 4 seasons.
4 seasons. That's your
I'd give it.
projection.
I'd give it 4 of like solid, good material, and then it can go anywhere from after that. I don't know.
You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
I guess it really all depends.
Yeah.
Because
This is
like
just a
if,
pointless prediction, really, because
'cause
we
I
have
feel like-
no fucking clue.
I feel like if you like they're creating controversy with the first episode, which is good press.
Yeah.
Well,
and
it's
you
good and
still
bad.
have a decent group of people that enjoy it because if you check the IMDb, not that this is our benchmark, but 8.3 for a first pilot, like
On
IMDb?
IMDb.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah, it was the 5.9 that you saw. For some reason, is just what pops up on Google. But then, like when you actually go on the
Yeah, when you refresh it.
IMDb thing, yeah,
Oh, I'm pussy, I guess.
uh,
All right.
I guess it must be that Android.
Oh, that was mad funny. Anyway,
So 1.5 million people across all platforms tuned in.
That's
Wow.
not a bad turnaround for a show. Man, 1
Um,
million people watch a season start opener. Come on.
yeah, and let's see. Lindelof. You guys can go ahead. I'm still reading the article.
oh, okay. No, I think it
Oh,
was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm fucking up. But yeah, it's been it's been 3 it's been 3 years since HBO premiered a series with numbers that high, which was Westworld. So it's
Right.
been 3 years. So that's obviously all, like how we're discussing right now. Like if these numbers stay up, which I think they will, even though a lot of people were hating, these will be the same people that will still go and watch the next episode. You know, it's kind of like the same effect that Game of Thrones had, like the last season. Everyone was like, "Wow, like they really don't know what they're doing." Like this episode,
Oh yeah.
sucked. And then guess what? The season finale was like one of the most watched episodes of all time, like in any TV series. So
Yeah.
it's like I feel like these same people complaining are the same people that are going to be every Sunday on their sofa with
Well, the thing is,
whoever they're
like when it comes to that stuff, you have to be like
with their
with
white
Game of
supremacist
Thrones.
friends.
You already invested so much time, so they're not going to be like, you know
Yeah,
what? Let me
it
just
is-
stop when I only have 4 episodes left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's easier to leave a show after the first episode, but I still think the impact that it left, like the fact that let's say you didn't watch the first episode, right, and you see all these people talking about it because it's so controversial, you're gonna want to watch it. You're gonna be like, let me see what everyone's discussing right now. Like, why are these people
Yeah.
hating on it? Why are these people loving it so much? What's the big fuss
Yeah,
about?
it's curiosity.
Yeah,
And
and
I-
also if you guys are listening to this and you're Caucasian,
And you are a white supremacist?
yeah, no, yeah. We don't want to hear from the white supremacists. But from people who are, I guess, if you consider yourself a normal Caucasian male or female, did you guys like feel attacked by this? Like, I genuinely want to know, like, because obviously we're talking about something we don't know about, you know, because we're not white. So
Or
we-
white supremacists?
or white supremacists. So we don't see why you guys would be attacked if you do feel attacked. But if you do or if you don't, let us know. Reach out to us. Let us know.
Because
DM us.
someone on IMDb commented that they personally felt attacked
Yeah, they
by
felt
this episode.
yes. Actually, let me get the exact quote.
While he pulls up the quote, I just want to tell
Verbatim.
you that my cousin
He
just
felt
hit me up.
genuine loathing towards him.
Nasty.
And-
Na-
And for those of you who don't know what that means, it means strong dislike or disgust or intense aversion to them. So
That
that's
is
what he felt
nasty.
towards by watching that episode. He felt intense anguish towards himself. What?
Yeah. Yo, someone got to check up on him. We should comment back. Be like, yo,
For
you
real.
Yeah,
good?
but yo,
Be like,
you
"Yo,
alright?
good?"
Like, fam, like, you need to see somebody. Get help.
Word.
But
Anyway, yeah. Sorry, what were
but
you saying?
no, yeah, my cousin just hit me up. She's like, "Yo, like I just finished the first episode of Watchmen. It's pretty loaded. What did you think?" And I'm like, "That's my point."
Yeah. I mean, so yo, let's break it down, right? A bit, like break down the episode, like
Mhm.
what actually consisted of it. Because I feel like people are listening to this right now, and they're just like, okay, you're talking about your reactions, like because we haven't really like dived down on some of the actual characters and themes, so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
should
yeah, yeah.
do that. So I mean, yeah, like off the bat, um, yo, Mark, since you watched it last night, I already fucking forgot what was the first scene.
Oh,
Oh,
First
I'm
scene
bugging.
was
I'm bugging.
Tulsa,
Yeah, Tulsa. Yeah.
dude.
I'm
That's
bugging.
that's where he felt attacked.
using
Right
That's
there, that
exactly, yeah.
scene.
using the Zack Snyder style opening credit font, which is really dope. I fuck with that
Yep.
shit heavy.
I
Yeah.
think that was a dope scene. I don't want to break it down scene per scene
Oh
per
no, of
se,
course not. But
but
we're
that
just,
was a really powerful scene though.
it was
Watching
a
that, that was like
it was a
it was
meaningful
very
theme
meaningful, and they brought it full circle for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say meaningful in two ways. One, obviously, historically, this was an actual event, as we have previously mentioned,
Yep.
and we got to see it from the perspective of
Somebody on the ground, man. That shit was
yeah.
nuts.
So it was like it like you kind of felt the vibe, like we had previously mentioned. Quick flex, we watched it at New York Comic Con. Like you kind of felt the tension in the room where it was just like, fuck, like this, like
Yeah.
it hasn't even been 5 minutes, and like all of us are already fucking shook, you know. So
Yeah.
that happened, and then at first I was wondering too. I was like, I wonder how this is gonna like come back into play, because obviously they're not gonna include this in just to include it for like
Yeah.
historical information. Like, all right, it's gonna come back and play a part later on. And and then we go to present day. We get to meet all these new characters, which was pretty refreshing because, like I said before, we've all mentioned Regina King's character was dope. I feel like it's very empowering to have that character, just to have, like we had talked about this in the previous episode where we talked about toxicity. Like we kind of do need representation, and I feel like, and even when Regina King was speaking about it in the panel we went to, she kind of said, she always wanted to like play like a Wonder Woman, or like she always looked up to like Hulk, which is kind of random, but it's like now the fact that she gets to play a superhero herself, and she's like, yo, like little girls, like little black girls like me, like they get someone to look at and be like, yo, like I can relate to this character, So I thought that was really dope. And good for another thing, like Damon Lindelof, like when they were explaining that thing at the panel too, where he had lunch with Jeremy Irons, right? And
Nobody else.
and yeah, he had lunch with Jeremy
That was
Irons.
so funny.
Nobody else for the cast. Yeah,
Insider. Quick flex. Quick flex.
Oh, just so yeah, I know, yeah. But I like that goes to show me that he approached everyone, and everyone, all these actors and actresses saw how devoted he was, and they, obviously they had to read the script, and going back, like these are top tier actors and actresses. Like these are not like no names, Like they obviously joined because they saw his vision, they loved it, and they have a feeling that people are gonna love it as well. So yeah,
Yep.
it's risky, but like they're in it because they know it's risky and they know it's gonna attract people. So that's why I feel like it really is just gonna be a hit for HBO. Sorry, I got kind of off like the actual episode, but I just one thing led to another in my head. And
welcome
this
to
is what I
Chillin with
okay.
Villains
It's
podcast,
okay.
where anything can happen.
Anything.
But now we can get back to the episode. I'm sorry, guys.
Nah,
Yes.
but like it was really dope to see that like on the ground kind of perspective and how brutal it was. Like that shit is.
I wouldn't say
nuts.
dope, but yeah.
No, I'm talking about.
I know.
What an ass.
You felt personally attacked. The actually, I think my favorite scene in the episode was probably the the when Looking Glass was interrogating that dude
Yeah,
Oh, that
yeah.
was
in the pod. That shit
crazy.
was dope. Like the second time I watched it, I was like, yeah, this shit is elite.
But
Like
yo,
that shit is dope.
speaking of
That's how girls interrogate us.
sp-
They keep
where were
showing
you
pictures
tonight?
of different girls.
Yeah, and like text messages.
His pupils dilate when I showed girl number 2. He's definitely been liking her pictures.
Yo, don't give them ideas, bro. Don't give them ideas.
Damn, yo, that's
But
a whole meme.
speaking of that, like I want to get
It
into like
is.
kind of like the whole police enforcement, like the how they're showing us this sort of side of them, you know, like when the officer had to go in the car and ask for permission to use his weapon,
That
Right.
like
was crazy.
that
So
shows a
tense.
lot in
That shows
today's world too, because you know, like it or not, white supremacists, officers are shooting brothers left and right. Like, you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like this isn't like someone just created this story like
Or this narrative,
to
or this
appeal.
narrative.
Exactly, like no, like this shit, like we see this in our lives, like this shit happens. You see it on the news. So the fact that you know an officer had to ask to have his weapon unlocked for him to use it, like that, I was like, damn, that's wild. And you know, it's showing two sides of the coin, you know, like why it's good to have this on lock, and then another
Yeah.
side of why it's not, because it took
Yeah,
him so
because
long
then
to get it out, and he got lit up. Like the officer got lit up by the guy,
And the
like the white
Rorschach mask.
yeah. So it's just like, yo, like I thought that was dope. Like not only was the scene itself dope, the actual meaning behind it, like the
And also
meaning,
the subtle, like I like subtle comedy or
right?
subtle payoffs in dialogue. Like the driver, like when he pulls the dude over, he's like, "What do you have in the trunk, sir?" Like in the back, and he's like,
oh
"Cabbage."
yeah.
He's like, "Cabbages," and then like
Or
it's
lettuce.
yeah, or lettuce, yeah, 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 and then us, the audience, we're like, "Bullshit."
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, right.
Yeah, and then like
And
when
legit, it was just lettuce.
yeah, and it was legit lettuce, but you know, it gives us kind of a more sinister undertone. Like, yo, like shit is
Right.
funny, but shit ain't
It's-
sweet, my guy.
And it goes to show, you know, like sometimes we do stereotype and we do like already give an opinion without knowing the person. I mean, granted, that person's still a terrible human being, but it's not to say that you know every white guy driving a pickup is a white supremacist. Like he could just in fact have been carrying lettuce and he's a genuine good person, you know.
Yeah, anything can
But
happen.
it's like I said, it's two sides of two sides of the coin that I feel like we saw a lot. You know, we saw
Yeah,
the meeting with the people in the Rorschach mask, right?
yeah,
We saw them, and what did they keep saying? TikTok,
yeah.
right?
They can
yeah,
tick
TikTok.
tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick
And
tock.
I forgot who had mentioned it. I watched the video, so shout out to whoever it was. I'm not gonna say it's Charlie, but I'm gonna still shout him out. So shout out Charlie.
Oh
Oh
my
god.
But
I don't think we shouted him out last episode, did we?
Yeah, we did.
I might have included.
Yeah,
him.
he just like
Jeez.
he was like, hold up, this
Some-
episode's kind of quiet. And he just goes, yeah, shout out to Charlie.
Yeah, some things should never die out, you know.
We're not
But
shouting him out every episode. We have to have one episode where we don't shout him out.
Nah.
if I'm on the episode, I'm shouting him out. So jokes on you.
Okay, anyway.
But no, yeah. So when they were there, I forgot who I said like, or it might. Oh no. It was at the panel itself. I think Lindelof or one of them said, or it was Dave Gibson. It was Dave Gibson.
No, Dave
So
Gibbons.
shout out Dave Gibson. Oh my god, my bad. Gibbons. My bad.
It's a Monday, yo.
Yeah.
This guy stinks!
What's it called? He, for those that don't know, he was one of the writers for the graphic novel
An
alongside,
illustrator.
yeah,
Yeah.
alongside Alan Moore. But he had said, like, these guys are over here worshiping Rorschach as if Rorschach was a white supremacist, and that's not the case. And
Yeah.
Rorschach can't be
Right.
there to defend his name, you know. So, like, in today's society,
They're misconstruing what he did, what he stood for.
exactly.
And but
So-
I don't think that exactly they are they're all right. Here's what I think their take is. I
Hmm.
think that they're inspired by Rorschach's anarchist sort of vibes, or not
Right.
anarchist, but it was nihilist vibe. Yeah, it's more of a nihilist. Like you know, he believes that government should fall and all that stuff. Like
Right.
it's all bullshit and all that. I just think
Right.
that they took that agenda and applied it to mask their white supremacy, like to mix it in with their agenda and stuff.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I just think that like because
They're taking what's convenient and using it as an
exactly
excuse,
because
essentially.
I feel like Rorschach's take on the world is very dense and very complex, and like he has this very gray um morality about him and stuff, like his
Yeah.
like the story about in from the Zack Snyder, not the Zack Snyder but also the graphic novel, but it's highlighted graphically, no pun, in the Snyder film,
Right.
where he's talking about investigating a case where a guy's daughter went missing. Like this family's daughter went missing, and it turns out that he found the dude who raped and fed her to the dogs. Like that's
Yeah.
disgusting and stuff. And like how like instead of bringing him into the police and tying him up like he would other people, he just started hacking at his head with a cleaver. Like,
Yep.
you know, like he thinks that scum should be put down, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
men he
Yeah.
oh yeah, what he says is men get arrested, dogs get put down.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like, you
Very
know,
very Punisher esque.
yeah, yeah, I guess.
He froze up there. He's like,
Nah, but I just think that the material that Damon Lindelof is pulling from is I think he's gonna do really good work with it. Like, I think we're
Oh
just
yeah.
scratching the surface on how deep this show is. So let's
right.
hope it continues.
And so back to my point where they're, that cult, they're obviously in there in the room, and the officers are watching the video, but I kind of like, first of all, the cinematography was great as well. um I love it because they're watching it, and at the same time they're all united in a circle watching these radicals united in a circle,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I kind of like that little like comparison
This
that
duality,
they
yeah,
had.
it's really
Right.
cool.
And in that scene as well, what was the chief asking for again? To let the weapons be used, right? Like to just have them unlocked all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Was that what it was for?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, what do you think?" He's like, "I think it's a bad decision," but he's like, "Fuck it, we're doing it." But I think it set up the rest. I think it was a very very good pilot. Um, can we talk about that ship he was on, or whatever the fuck that was? Like the airplane at the end where it
Dude,
crashed.
that's Night Owl's. That's a version of Night Owl's ship from the comics. I mean,
That shit was
from the book.
tough. That shit was dope.
Yeah, like it basically looks like a giant owl head. But
Yeah,
yeah, you know, I like how they're pulling inspiration, like how what happened with the Watchmen 30 years ago. They're kind of incorporating into their own
yeah,
like that's really dope. I
right,
like that.
definitely. And like the scene that Zoom said where he was interrogating him, and just with that scene too. And going back to my point about the police officers, like they need to wear masks because they don't know. People can look at them and be like, "All right, this is the officer, that arrested me that one time. I'm gonna go find him, kill him, or kill his family." So like,
Exactly.
all the officers need to be protected, like by wearing a mask. And it's just like, I think that's such a subtle like thing, especially when we're talking about comic books and superheroes, because superheroes are normally like they always wear masks, obviously to protect their identity, protect their loved ones, and I just think it's like it didn't feel like a like kind of how I said with Joker, right? It didn't feel really like a comic book like show. It felt
Exactly.
very real. This is what's happening in today's society, or like you never know along the line that cops also in today's day and age, like in the real world, need to wear masks. Because like, hey, like I locked this guy up once, he got off on some bullshit, whatever technicality, and now he's gonna find my address, shoot me, kill my family. Like, no, that's a bunch of BS, you know. So
Yeah.
sometimes it is needed for an officer to, protect himself or herself. And, obviously Regina King's character, she went all out because she has a dope ass suit and fucking she just looked badass, dude. Sister Knight looked dope.
I
Yeah,
just think
bro.
also
Yeah,
that her I guess her alias being religious themed
Right.
is also I think a for perception. Like so if she's in the
Uh-huh.
paper and stuff, like people are like, yo, like that's Sister Knight though. Like she's just trying to help.
Yeah. Do you guys think question, do you guys think the scene at the dinner table where they're, it's Jude Crawford, right? Don Johnson's character, his family, and then Regina King, her family. And like he obviously he had a little bit of white stuff on his nose. You
Oh
snorting
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
snort.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
think you think that has gonna have a deeper meaning somewhere along the line, or it was just for that scene where he started driving off, and obviously that was the scene where he got killed, or like do you think there's something a little bit more to that?
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like maybe him doing cocaine could show again his gray morality that like yeah, he is trying to protect his officers and all that, trying to do the right thing and trying to take out these white supremacists and all that.
Uh-huh.
But then also he does cocaine. But then also he could be involved in some shady shit. So
Right.
maybe it was also a very subtle and direct sign to show how maybe he wasn't on his A game while he was driving down that road and didn't notice the tire spikes.
Right.
So maybe maybe it's something important, maybe it's something that's not. I don't know if they will throw a red herring in there because everything is written with a purpose.
Right.
yeah.
So
But I just also wanted to make a comment, like the the actor who plays Looking Glass, that was the officer doing the interrogation,
yeah,
Tim
yeah,
Blake
yeah.
Nelson.
He was dope.
He looks he looks very similar to Jackie Earl Haley, who played Rorschach. I mean, obviously, I don't think there's any connection or anything. I just,
Yeah.
from what I saw, I just he reminded me a lot of
No,
Rorschach,
there's
especially with his hair.
actually I see more of a similarity between Looking Glass and Rorschach than I do with any other character there.
Yeah, that's true
Yeah,
too.
because Looking Glass is obviously trying to project something with their face because that's what Rorschach was doing. His emotion
Right.
was projected onto the ink.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that it's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
unpredictable. So I guess the Looking Glass's version of it is different. It's just trying to find truth and all that. So I
Right.
think it's
Uh,
it's a really cool concept though. That
and
pod thing. I hope we see more of the pod stuff.
yeah. Fun fact too: Tim Blake Nelson actually was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So probably playing this role and just being a part of something that takes bases there, it probably means a lot to him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then we get the scene obviously at the end where, well, even before that, where Regina King's character was like, "Oh, I need to go to the bakery. I need to check some stuff in the bakery." Was just the code for, "Yeah, I'm about to have to go whoop some ass."
Yeah.
Like, put on my Sister Night costume, and then that's when we first get introduced to what's his name? Um, what's his name in the show?
You talking about Adrian?
No, no. Will Reeves, so played by the older gentleman, Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh, okay, okay,
So
okay.
yeah, so we get introduced to him, and like Mark had mentioned earlier, he was like, "Oh, do you think I could lift 200 pounds or whatever?" And she was like, just kind of look at him like, "What is this old man talking about right now?" Like, whatever, right? And I know, all right, like cool. It's probably just an old guy in front of the bakery that she'll probably see every now and then, whatever. And then we see at the end, you know, the chief's body hanging, and who's there with him? The
Spoiler.
old man in the. I mean, hey, if you're still if you're
Hey,
still listening to
you
this,
had 24 hours, all right?
No,
You're
not even
fine.
that. We mentioned spoilers in the beginning of the episode. So if you
Uh,
if you're still watching, if you're still listening right now, then you clearly don't care about things getting spoiled. But yeah, he's there in his little wheelchair, and that was that. I was just like, damn. I was like, so it went full circle. But we also have to remember that before um, Drew Crawford, before the chief left, there was a picture that the camera really focused on with him and his grandfather, I believe, or at least I assume. And obviously, Jude Crawford is the white guy, and we can assume that his grandpa was a white supremacist that had something to do with, what happened in Tulsa in 1921.
That's fucking
And
crazy, man.
Wait,
yeah,
who?
The
the
chief.
the, the chief before
Wait, why
before
are
he
we
had
assuming that?
why else would he kill him?
I guess that's probably true. Well, assuming he did it.
Even if he didn't do it, he had something to do with it.
Clearly, because no freaking that's so random. That's a terrible place to be for an alibi.
Right.
Yeah, it's so true. We'll
And
see.
yeah, so exactly. And they wouldn't put so much, like I said, they wouldn't put so much emphasis on him asking that question to her. Do you think I could lift 200 pounds? And they wouldn't put so much emphasis on the picture. It's just kind of it's like I said, it's going full circle. Like, hey, he's probably going after all the people that has something to do with the acts that happened in Tulsa in 1921. Again, it was only one episode, so our assumptions mean nothing because they could go in a completely different direction and be like, stupid. That's not the direction we were going in. But good try. Thumbs up for you
Nit.
trying. But I absolutely love the direction they're going in. I think it's something new. It's something that we can talk about that happens in the real world. Obviously, granted, not some stuff, but the whole plot and what the actual themes are. We can say it's things that we do see here, especially more in the United States.
Yeah.
And I think with the cast, with the writers and the executive producers, I think HBO has a hit on their hands.
And you get official projection from
Yeah.
our ESPN correspondent, Clown Prince.
It has nothing to
So,
do with anything. Why is he ESPN?
because
No,
I know the
because
contract, bro.
legit. Every time that Junior makes can't talk, an analysis about like a deep dive into something, he has like sports connotations and like stuff. Like it just sounds like a sports report when he's doing it. That just sounds fire.
I'm gonna just watch more like Stephen A. and like Shannon
Dude, I
Sharp,
watch his videos way too many times, dude.
but not yet. I think, like I said, I think I touched on everything that I wanted to about the episode, about the series as a whole. Did I mention that we went to the screening ahead of time before everyone else got to watch it? I'm just gonna leave on that note.
He's gonna be like he's basically just saying, "Yo, I saw this."
You know how much I wanted to brag on Instagram on the page? Like, yeah, oh yeah, just watching it right now. I don't have to.
Yeah, I saw this.
Can't relate.
Yo, I saw this. People are
You
like, yo,
just
did you watch the episode? Yeah, I watched it 2 weeks ago. Dumbass.
idiot.
You're a little late, buddy.
Nah, but DC just continues to baffle me. How they like, it's like everything is like they're like batting 500, and they're not even batting 1,000, because it's like something you have complete. You put your hands all up in it, and then there's certain projects that they're just like, you know what? Let my guy build, yo. Like
Warner Brothers makes absolutely zero sense.
they're like, yo, Todd Phillips, yo, your vision, bro. Go with it, yo. The sky's the limit. Zach,
Todd's like, wait,
I don't
Zach
you
know.
guys
is a
are gonna
dub.
review? I'm like, no, we're not. Oh, Damon Lindelof. He's like, guys, I really want to. I got this idea. They're like, go ahead, do it. Yeah, that's perfectly fine with us. Like, what the fuck?
Zach, what
And
the
is that
fuck is wrong with you,
what?
man?
Hell no. We're changing this whole thing. Josh, come here. Josh, yes, you direct this, please. Redo this whole thing, please. But nah, like we had mentioned in the last podcast, like I think DC just doing like a non-connected universe is just like you said, they're just gonna hit it out the ballpark. Once they start trying to connect things, then they're like, like all right, let's
Yeah.
let's just kind of stick to like a one and done kind of thing, you know. And I feel like they really strive on that, and so I think, and especially like I said, it's on HBO. Everyone seems to have the liberty that they want with shooting this and creating this, and I think if the ratings are still there, and I think they are, no matter how many white supremacists are going to be watching, um, I think they'll still do a great job. And with the good ratings, they'll go on for a couple of seasons.
I agree. I mean, I can't wait. So some, what the fuck? Sorry, I just got a random text message from somebody. I don't know, like I didn't save the number. It's completely unrelated, and it's a picture of I'm gonna send you the picture right now, Junior. Sorry, but Watchmen is going to be elite, and if you're a white supremacist, I'm sorry,
Enjoy the
not
show anyway.
really, not really though, not really sorry, actually.
Yo, Regina King, you about to get another Emmy, fam.
You think so?
Yo, she's gonna kill it. At least a nomination. She's gonna smoke this, man.
I hope so, man. I hope the whole cast looks like they about to just run through and do a great job. And
Yeah,
I can't wait to see where they go with Ozymandias because we know how powerful and dangerous he can really be. And once they start introducing all these other, like I'm more than certain like we'll see like a tease of Night Out, which we already have, like you said, Ariel and like what's her name, Silk,
Oh,
and
Silk Spectre, yeah,
yeah, and Doctor Manhattan, of course, like they've already been teasing him. He was on Mars. What one
yeah,
last
yeah,
thing, like so. Are they hinting like life on Mars? Like
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe,
So
or maybe he noticed, or maybe he senses that like shit is getting so fucked up on Earth that he's just like,
he's like,
yo,
yo,
I'm
yeah,
gonna go
it's
back and like
the
fix it.
SpongeBob meme. I was like, all right, I'm gonna head out.
word.
He's like,
Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
can do what
we
y'all
need to
can do.
secure that
I'm
meme
out
down. We need to secure that meme down.
now.
Was that
Oh,
it?
word.
That's it?
Yeah, I feel I have nothing else to say. I've said my part. I mean my
Yep.
piece.
Can't
I,
wait for the rest of the season. And this is gonna be a weekly thing, hopefully. So we'll try
yeah,
to
Yeah.
we'll
get back to
hopefully
you
try to
guys
do
every week.
weekly episodes on this and any news that breaks out. Which I think I could cover a little bit right now. We already discussed the Riddler casting, right?
Yeah. That was in the last one.
Um, so I think the only real thing that real reports that came out were that Jared Leto like tried to get Warner Brothers to kill the movie Joker, um, and that apparently his days as the Joker are over. But he was just in a recent interview, and they had asked him about like they didn't ask him about the situation, but they asked him about like how he feels about him playing the Joker, and he said he loved the character, that he'll be willing to come back, and I think a lot of those reports were just like a bunch of clickbait. Um, I highly doubt but even if he did do that, I would understand, because
Absolutely.
how can a studio be like, oh, like how can you make a movie right where your character is a central, like I'm pretty sure David Ayer had him be a very central a focal point in this movie, and Warner was like, no, reshoots, we're scrapping the whole thing, and then his character only gets like 2 minutes of screen time, whatever, you know, and then Warner Brothers goes and says, you know what, let's just do a whole movie, a whole solo movie on this one character. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's
would be
messed up.
fucking pissed too. I'll be like, word. So then, and you know, I'm pretty sure Jared Leto knows how comic book fans are too, and he's like, word, like they're gonna shit on me even more now because this movie's about to succeed, and they're
Mhm.
gonna love Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and then be like, wow, like my Joker's a piece of shit, but in reality, y'all haven't got the full effect of my Joker yet. So, but in that interview, I recommend everyone go check it out. It's on our page at Comic Gods with a Z. He you know, he's very calm. He's very like chill out about it. He's like, yeah, man, like I would love to reprise the role and you know do it again, but he doesn't really know what's going on. I don't think Warner Brothers really knows yet what's going on with any of that. So, you know, he probably knows even less. But I really, really generally, I do think a bit. I'm such a huge fan of the character. Obviously, that's why I chose the name for my admin name to be Clown Prince. Like, I really want him to get another shot because we didn't get the full Jared Leto Joker effect. You know, if we had gotten a full movie with him and we're just like that's not it, then that's fine. But we didn't. You know, so I think he deserves another chance.
Damn,
For
bro.
show.
You smoked that. I got nothing to say.
Yeah, I got nothing to say
All
too.
right.
I mean, yeah, I
Yo, this
agree.
nigga went hard, bro.
So we'll hopefully catch y'all next week.
It's just gonna be Clown Prince by himself.
For real, bro.
My fault, yeah.
This dude smoked that, man.
Word. So yeah, I'm gonna
didn't-
cover every possible point. Yo, you guys got anything to add?
Mad cursed with
Alright.
knowledge.
I've been cursed with this knowledge, man. I'm sorry.
Nah, but
I am.
like, yeah, it's lit. It's lit.
So
Like,
yes,
hopefully
weekly
Jared Leto
episodes.
gets another shot. Maybe I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers is like, I'm gonna head out on that. So I'm not really looking. I'm not really hopeful about another Jared Leto thing. Even though I'm not one of the haters on him, but you know,
You just don't think it's likely.
yeah.
You feel like that time has just passed, right? Like, there's
Yeah, I
been
think
so
so.
much
That
shit
was
it just
that was
passed.
an era in its own, and it lasted like 3 years, if that. So, listen,
But
the torch
y'all.
has been passed.
Yes. All right, y'all.
Yo,
Man, thanks for joining in.
Yes, thank you guys
So yeah, I guess weekly episodes are gonna be a thing now.
yeah.
for Watchmen.
For Watchmen
For Watchmen
specifically.
only.
Yeah, for Watchmen. But
So for
you
the
know,
next-
as
And then
we're-
every-
as
and
we're
then-
covering Watchmen, if something breaks out, we can discuss it a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we can. I figured we just. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
just
not gonna have a discussion right now.
Imagine we just start breaking that down.
Yeah, start breaking it down. Well, what about this? We start breaking
Start
down our
giving
own
people
plans
math.
in front of them. All right, guys.
a breakdown of the breakdown.
All right.
Catch
Yeah,
you guys.
Yo,
forget to email.
next week.
Yeah. Word.